Not all backpacking gear is as fun to talk about. You know, today we're not going to be talking about shelters or backpacks or cook systems. We're going to talk about kind of some of the boring stuff, and that is your clothing system. Now, laid out in front of me here, I have my full summer clothing system. We're going to go through everything from the clothing I wear to my extra clothing to some of my supplemental clothing if weather turns foul. And we're gonna kind of start from the feet up. So my footwear choice for my backpacking trips is the Ultra Lone Peak 6.0. Hands down the most comfortable shoe I've ever worn out on a backpacking trip. They've got the zero drop. So if you're looking at getting into like an Ultra or any kind of zero drop shoe, just know that there is a little bit of adjustment time for your body to kind of get used to them. When I say zero drop, it means that from the heel to the toe, you've got no drop. So the cushioning is the exact same width throughout, or same thickness, I guess. A very, very comfortable shoe, very breathable. They do dry out extremely fast. So if you're doing creek crossings, that kind of thing, Ultras are awesome for that. Paired with my Ultras are my Dirty Girl Gaiters. These just kind of keep my feet protected from getting any rocks and sticks, and just helps keep some of the debris out of the shoe. So they hook onto your shoe like this. You know, they're like a neoprene, they're not waterproof, but like I said, they just help keep a lot of the debris out of the top of your shoe. And you know, they come in a whack of different styles, and they're cool and funky, and you know, you can get a little bit of trail personality out there with the Dirty Girls. My socks of choice are the Injinji toe socks. You either love them or you hate them. I know a lot of people love the Darn Toughs or the Smart Wools or any kind of merino wool sock. For me, merino wool just doesn't work. It eats my feet alive. I get really, really bad blisters. I've never had blisters as bad as I have wearing Darn Tough socks, so I made the switch to the Injinjis, and just having that little bit of toe separation and the fabric in between the toes has made a world of difference for me. I haven't had a single blister since going to the Injinji toe socks. Amazing, amazing socks. I love them. Like I said, you either love them or you hate them. A piece of gear that us guys tend to struggle with a lot is our underwear of choice. You know, a lot of guys deal with chafing, and for me, the key to anti-chafing is the Sax Quest underwear. They're just like a really athletic, you know, breathable. You can see through them. Yeah, really, really comfortable. If you know anything about Sax, you know that they're designed for boyhood comfort, shall we say. I freaking love Sax. They have been an absolute game changer for me, and paired with those, more often than not, this is the next layer on my bottoms, and this is just a pair of tights, also from Sax. They're really, really breathable. They dry extremely fast. I like these, just kind of keep, you know, my legs protected from the sun, as well as, you know, thorns and willows and any kind of, you know, underbrush banging against my legs. Helps protect my shins. Yeah, I like wearing the tights. I started wearing them kind of as a joke. I just threw them on one morning out with some friends, and it's just something that's stuck, and I've gone with it ever since. And over top of those, I rock just a simple pair of Adidas running shorts. You know, super lightweight, super breathable, dry extremely fast. You're probably kind of noticing a trend with all my clothes here. Very, very lightweight, dries really fast. I'm personally a really big fan of synthetics. I like clothing that's going to dry out really quickly. I don't really care if I stink out on trail. I know a lot of people love the merino base layers and that kind of thing for, you know, just not stinking as bad on trail. But for me, I find synthetics just work a lot better for keeping me dry. So pretty much everything I go with is synthetic. A new piece of gear for me this year, this is my Outdoor Research Echo hoodie. This has got an SPF rating. It is, like everything else I wear, extremely lightweight, very, very breathable, dries ridiculously fast. This is a piece of gear that I actually wanted for quite a while, and they're pretty pricey, especially when you consider shipping gear up here to Canada and the exchange rates and duties and that kind of thing. But I was fortunate to find one on a very, very good price on a discount site, so I picked it up, and I have been extremely happy with the Echo hoodie. You know, it's got a nice hood on it to, you know, protect your ears and your neck. Like I said, very, very breathable, dries out extremely quickly. Great piece of gear. And rounding out my upper body is just a buff. This tends to be the one I wear all the time. You know, I love having a buff for a neck gaiter around my neck. A big thing for me when it comes to the buff is just using it to help keep me cool. You know, I love dipping it in a creek and then putting it on around my neck, and it just keeps the arteries around your neck nice and cool and really helps me regulate my body temperature. And obviously a hat. I'm not really super particular when it comes to hats. I like the mesh back trucker hats. I like the flat brim, you know, just gives me more protection, I feel. You know, I don't like the curved hats in front of my face. They just really annoy me. And the mesh back, just because it's a little bit lighter, a little bit more breathable, and that's what I go with. My rain jacket, I just carry a Frog Togs Ultralight 2 rain jacket. For the price and the weight, to me, you really can't go wrong with the Frog Togs jackets. You know, yeah, they feel really cheap. They are really cheap, but they do work. And the big thing with Frog Togs is the price. You know, these cost like 20 bucks. So if you get holes in it, you rip it, whatever, it's really, really easy to replace one of these. Or, you know, you throw a couple pieces of patch tape on it and you just don't care because it's a $20 rain jacket and it's effective. Now, any extra clothing that I carry with me on a backpacking trip goes inside this Hilltop Packs Dyneema stuff sack. As I'm going through my clothing, if any of this stuff is not clothing that you wear or is clothing that doesn't work for you, that's perfectly okay. You know, if you don't want to use the gear that I use, don't use it. If you are interested in any of the gear that I'm talking about here today, you'll probably find links in the description box down below, and make sure you use my affiliate links because it helps out the channel a ton. Diving into the spare clothing bag that I carry with me, I carry a really, really cheap pair of lightweight fleece pants. These are kind of like my camp pants, you know, just I don't even know where I got them. It might have been Walmart. They were ridiculously cheap, like, you know, 5 to 10 bucks kind of thing. Very lightweight, nice and warm, just something comfortable I can slip on when I get to camp, and I like sleeping in these. I carry an extra pair of these Sax underwear. I also carry an extra buff with me. This one happens to be a merino wool one. I like it because it's got a little bit more insulative properties. So, you know, you can tubble it up and use it as like a headband, or I can, you know, fold it up and kind of twist it and make a beanie out of it. I do that quite often. I carry one extra pair of the Injinji toe socks. Carry one extra synthetic shirt with me, just a plain synthetic t-shirt, you know, quick drying. I quite often use this to wear to bed. Carry my Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer. This is the original Ghost Whisperer. I've had this for a number of years now. I absolutely freaking love this down puffy jacket. To me, the Ghost Whisperer is probably the best ultralight puffy jacket out there. This thing is like 7 ounces. It's got a hood. It folds up into its own pocket. For me, this serves multiple purposes. You know, in my hammock, I use this as my pillow as well as my head insulation. I just kind of like, I stuff the sleeves under my neck, and I find that's all I need for me in my hammock for like head support. And then I just kind of wrap the rest around my head, and that's what keeps the top of my head warm at night. And for those trips where weather's going to call for cooler evenings, or, you know, say I'm backpacking in the spring or in the fall, I carry this Columbia fleece sweater with me. It's a zip-up sweater up the front. It's got Columbia's little Omni dot thing inside of it. I don't know, it's pretty warm. I like that it's fleece because I find with fleece, I can actually dry a lot of my clothes out putting fleece over top. It tends to, you know, let moisture pass through really well. So, you know, say I've been out hiking and, you know, I've been sweating a lot, I get to camp, you know, it's kind of starting to get to dusk and it gets cool. I can throw this on, and I know that I can dry out my clothes underneath while maintaining my warmth with this. So I go with the Columbia fleece from time to time. Like I said, I don't bring this with me on every backpacking trip in the dead middle of summer when it's really warm. I just go with the Ghost Whisperer, and I don't need this. But like I said, you know, getting into the shoulder season, I do carry this Columbia fleece with me. That covers all my clothing for my summer backpacking trips. Like I had said previously, if there's any of the gear or clothing in this video that interests you, I'll put links in the description box down below where you guys can check it out and pick up some of it yourself. And if you guys are looking for more content to supplement you and keep you interested, I've got a couple videos right here I'm sure you guys will enjoy. And as always, I'm Matty. Thank you so dang much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.